you'll get sandpaper. What you'll get in your pack is start off at 1500, 2000 and 2500. So you'd normally start off at 1500 grit. I wouldn't go any lower than, you could probably go as low as 1000 grit, right? No lower than that. Because if you go too low, all you're doing is putting deep scratches in the clear coat, and it's just you're gonna need to work a lot more to try and get those scratches out. Probably unnecessary to go any lower than that. So we'll start off at 1500. Sometimes the clear coat will actually peel. So it looks like it's, like peeling, like sunburn. That's when you might need to go lower. But again, 1000's probably enough. You don't want to go any lower than that. So I'll go with 1000. I don't actually have any 1500 left on me. So in your pack, it'll be 15, 2000 and 2500. All right. But again, if you run out of sandpaper, it's really cheap. Like you can just, eBay, you can buy big packs like that. Water. All it is just water because we're wet sanding. All right, so we just got to keep it lubricated. Straight lines. Now you can tape this off as well if you're not comfortable enough, like, with the sandpaper. It's going to go milky like this. And what that's doing is that's showing me that I'm actually taking the small like layer of all the oxidization off the light. That's what it is. So this is all normal. Now in summer, you're going to find that this dries pretty quick. So all you got to do is just keep it lubricated. The lower the grit, the more coarse it is. So you're going to put scratches. So technically what we're doing now is putting scratches in, the clear coat. So the reason why we go up in grit is to reduce those scratches so that it's easier to polish out. Because the last step is to polish. All right, so now we'll go to 2500 or 2000. So you can see it's not as milky now. So we're getting somewhere. When it starts getting less and less, then you know you're getting somewhere. The reason why we use water is it's less abrasive. We're taking off a fine layer, but we don't want to be so abrasive that we put scratches in it that we can't polish out. So you just wait for it to dry out a little bit and you can see how even it is. If there's a couple of spots on it that you look like you could go over it again, then you hit it again with the sandpaper. That looks pretty good. Yeah, so the final step is to give it a polish. So I had a franchisee once call me up and he said, did my first headlight restoration, wasn't too happy with it. And I said, this is a week after training. So you got one pretty much straight away. I said, run through what you did. He goes, yep, use 1500, 2500, and then he paused. I was waiting for him to finish. I said, you're missing a step. And he goes, oh, really? I said, you're missing the polish. And he goes, oh, no wonder it looked all cloudy, and because it would have looked like that. But the client said it looked great. I said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to call the client. You're going to say you're going to come back and give it another go because you weren't too happy with it. So we went back, gave it a polish, and then the client's like, whoa, that's amazing. This is the compounds that you're going to get in your pack. So you get 3. You get a fine cut, a medium cut, and a heavy cut. When you're doing a headlight restoration, now you want to try and so you can see all the scratches on it now. You want to try and get rid of these scratches. So the idea that I have is a heavy cut and a heavy pad because you're really trying to get rid of those scratches. You don't have to give it multiple stages. You can just give it one stage. So this should be enough. Whenever you're using the compound for the day, give it a good shake. Keep your finger on it because you don't want to wear it. I've seen franchisees do it. They go, the polisher that you get is still good, but I just want something a little bit more powerful. All right, so I just went and got this down the track, so the one that you get is still really good. I'll show you that in a second. You don't need to use a lot when you're doing a headlight, so just... So you can see a burn mark there. So it looks like it's on the inside. And you'll feel it. If you feel something like raised above it, then you need to go a little bit more. That's coming from the inside. So all we're doing is just making it so that it's not as, well, you can see the difference between that and that. So we're just making it so that it's not foggy and yellow. If you see something that you might have missed, you can still go over it again. Like I can probably polish a little bit more there. Here's a little tip for you as well. If you get a cut and polish job, you can be polishing the whole car, headlights, whatever you're doing. And you're taking leads. It's probably a good idea to have headphones in. And the reason why I say that is, one, the ones that I use are noise cancelling, so they're not going to hurt your ears. Because I've corrected a car once for 7 hours. So after about 45 minutes of this, my ears are ringing, right? So you've got to look after your ears. So headphones can be noise cancelling, and then you'll be able to hear leads come through. Phone calls, text messages, even complaints. You don't want to leave a complaint like too long, right? So it's something that, I did, very early on, because I don't want to miss anything. As soon as a lead comes through, I want to call it straight away. Or even a complaint. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, unfortunately. So one more step that you can do, and this is what I do as like the wow factor for your clients. I apply ceramic coating to this, because what you're literally doing is taking a fine layer of the clear coat off. If I just left it like that and didn't do any protection on it, in about 2 or 3 months, it's going to start going yellow again. All right, so a good idea would be to protect it. Now, in your pack, because we don't give you ceramic coating straight away, you can buy that later on if you want, after you've done the training. You get the Rapid Shield. Rapid Shield is like a graphene coating. You can use it on this. That's not really a long-term thing. You might get 8 or 9 months out of it, I would say. They say a year, but the way clients look after their cars, I would say about 8 or 9 months. Ceramic coating is long term, especially the Naziol, the one that we actually supply. That can be minimum 3 years. Right, the ZR53, so it's a really good product. Even the NL272, that's 5 years. So if you had that on you, you can protect this, and it'll be many, many years before it even starts going yellow. So that's a good thing about ceramic coating. Actually, one thing I've got to do before I do it though is, when you polish a car and you're gonna coat it with the ceramic coating, you need to clean it. Again, I'm not talking about washing it with suds. You've got to get the compound off. Even though I did wipe it off, there's still compound here. So you need to create a clean space for the ceramic to bond. So isopropyl alcohol. So you go to Bunnings, get yourself, you can get it in 500 ml, and it's not straight because that's 100% alcohol. So you do a mix, 2 to 10. So 200 ml, 800 water, and that's what you can use. So let me just grab that. You can smell it as well. So you got to give it a clean. And this goes the same as if you're doing the entire car. Now with graphene coating or Rapid Shield, you don't need to do that. You can literally go straight from polishing car, wipe off the excess compound, and go straight to applying it. That's the good thing about graphene. Yep. But with ceramic, you need to have a clean surface. Or else if you just put it straight on, it's not going to bond. In a week or so, it's just going to come off. Now, these do have a shelf life. So as soon as they're open, you've got about 2 months to use them. You don't need to use a lot. And you see how much I use here, and that's only just for a light. Normally have a applicator block that you use, but because it's weird angles, you just use your fingers. Now what you do is you've got to let that bond. So you're going to let it sit for a little bit, 30 seconds or so, and then you can actually wipe it off. Kind of hard to see it today, but the way that you sort of gauge whether or not it's ready to come off is it looks like it's perspiring, it looks like it's sweating. So when you're actually doing ceramic coating, get into a good habit of whatever panel that you're doing, you might actually get a little bit of ceramic here. So when you're wiping it off, that's the important part. wipe off around the edges as well, a little bit extra, because if I'm only wiping off here, I'll leave it there and I'll walk around the car or whatever, and I come back and see it 10, 15 minutes later, you won't be able to get that off. It'll be a touch dry and then you'll have to cut it off.